Have you ever wondered how things might look in the next life? Or how things are going to look in the future and you're just not sure how it's going to turn out? We're going to think about that today on Now What Devotions from Trinity Lutheran in Cyrus. So there's a storm coming. It's going to be rain and ice. And by the time this is out, you probably all will have experienced this storm. But I've been thinking, I'm sitting here looking out my windows today thinking, do I stay in the house today and just stay near in case it ices up? Do I go out? What's it going to look like after this? Is the snow going to melt off or is it just going to freeze harder again? And how will life be different after this? And that's actually something that comes up a lot in a life of faith. We sometimes want faith to be something that gives us a future plan. It gives us something to aim for, mileposts, mile markers in what is the wide open field of our lives, right? You can go any direction and you don't necessarily know how it'll turn out. And sometimes we wish that God's word to us would be like, this is how it's going to turn out. And of course, that is precisely what God's word does, but not necessarily in the realm of this life. It says, pay attention, worry about others, love them, care for them. And there is more, but but God doesn't give us a lot of specifics on that aside from it's real, it's forever, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. But you have work to do here. Jesus, though, today in our text has a little something to say about it. Yeah, I can hear the rain just starting to come down outside, and I'm thinking about this. So we're in the book of Matthew, and we're thinking about the Transfiguration. Anyway, Jesus is up on the mountain with the disciples, and for a brief moment, they see things how it really is. They see through the veil of this world and see the reality underneath it. And Moses and Elijah, the two biggest prophets of the tradition, are there. And it's worth remembering, by the way, that Jesus didn't have a New Testament Bible. Jesus had the Old Testament Bible. So did all of Christians for the first 400 years, right? Like the idea of our New Testament, it is very helpful, but the Old Testament was exactly where Jesus was grounded and was where his disciples were grounded and was the tradition and was what they were a part of. So Moses and Elijah show up, the two big guys, and they're talking with Jesus about what's going to come next. Thinking a coming snowstorm is such a good example of this. We think about, what do I need to have laid up? Should I go get some food? The grocery store gets busy. The hardware store might get a little busy. Folks are getting another slider for their snow blower, or maybe some more 2-cycle oil, or, folks are getting ready for things and we don't know what's going to look like on the other side. And we trust that things will happen and things will occur and there will still be a world here to deal with and all those things. But we also are planning for what we can't see. We are planning for what's next and we're unsure of. This is a common trajectory of the faith life. And in the Transfiguration, Jesus has that moment as well. And after this big moment, he says to his disciples, let's not tell everybody about this yet. Wait until after I've gone on. This will help explain things to people. I think that's really interesting. Sometimes in our life, when dangerous or hard or big things happen, it has a way of clarifying the moment, showing us what's going on, making obvious things that are necessary, showing us the truth that's underneath things. And that happens in this moment. They're like, oh, you are the Son of God. And they promptly respond badly, saying, let's build some tents, let's hang out, But there's that moment of recognition. Does that happen to you? Do you look around and sometimes you see the truth? And sometimes do you see that God is active? Are you looking for that? Could you look for that? What would it look like? I also would suggest to you that you can do that looking with friends in the faith. Like, this is what a faith community is for, not to just put on nice clothes on Sunday and see each other and then judge each other. Instead, it is to think about the things of God in the real world, to process. Did you see this? Did you notice that? What do you think? Do you think God could have shown up at this? What was that? That is important work of the family of God. I'm Pastor Chris, thinking about what this storm is going to look like on the other side in the Transfiguration. For Trinity Lutheran in Cyrus, signing off for now.